Hello and welcome to the Connection podcast series. Today we are sitting with three gentlemen who have some very exciting news for us related to the North American folding carton market. There are two very, very well established European businesses who have entered into an agreement to bring their foiling solutions and their tray forming solutions to the North American folding carton sector, namely Gietz, and also we have Vinfoil. And the interesting aspect is that they have started this relationship working with a name who is very well known in the sector, Chris Leary. So Hans-Jörg, welcome. I would like to come to you first, please. Hans, I know that you've been very active in the North American market utilizing a previous agent. Why did you feel that now was the right time to look at establishing your own business to promote all of your products in North America?
First of all, Dan, thank you very much for giving us the possibility to show what we intend to do in the North American market. And it's correct that we are long time in the US market or North American market selling machines. So we are, since beginning of 80s, we are active in the North American markets, and we have very good times, long time in North America, and up to now we still up. Actually, we sold 150 machines to North America and still running 100. So machines 20-30 years old, still giving us revenue, needing service, and so on. So far we always went with a classical reseller, which are selling different products. And basically, I have 4 points why I really like this solution we are having now, and this is actually a perfect fit for all of us. The first reason is that we really can offer now to the clients in the North American market the complete embellishment solution. Because we all are really in the meaning or the opinion that we are not deciding what the customer is buying. The customer decides what type of embellishment solutions he needs, and we can offer now both. So that's the first one. And the second very important one is that we have the same customer bases. So basically we can attack the same customers in one go. And the third one is definitely that with Vinfoil and Gietz, the two basically premium product suppliers, which are selling the premium machinery equipment, are joining the forces. And last but not least, we found with Chris Leary a very good salesperson, which is connected all over North American market. And I believe with that we can really achieve a lot of synergies.
And Vincent, obviously this is the joining of two family-owned businesses. Please tell us a little bit about the background of how you started working with Hans-Jörg and obviously then working with Chris. So tell us some of the history as to how that relationship began.
Yeah, okay. Also, thank you very much for getting the opportunity to talk more about our cooperation. Of course, we are not like Gietz, a long history. I started Vinfoil 2007, so not so long time ago. Of course, everybody knows 2008 was the crisis time, so it was difficult to row against the flood, let's say, going down. And I tried to develop machines. Luckily, we continue with that. Of course, there were some already existing foil solutions in cold foil, but I had complete other idea. So if you look our design, our machines, our technique is complete different because I have another philosophy of handling the foil, and I think that's one of the key points. Foil, we both do we use foil to apply brilliance on packaging. And of course, Gietz, I know already a long time. I'm in the business since 1976. So I started as an engineer. I worked on box machines, on foil stampers. Of course, I know Gietz. That was, let's say, for us the high premium manufacturer still, of course. okay, we grow and we had difficult times because of the not of the corona, but of the crisis. Of course, corona came, but that was not so affected us. And we started also. We have a lot of countries where we sell machines. China, very big market for us. Europe, big market for us. And I don't know why, but in America we couldn't get a foot between the door. And let's say we started with an agent in America, which was before the same agent as for Gietz, and Gietz decided already earlier to disconnect the relationship, and which we did later. And I think this disconnection of the dealer in the US was the connection between Gietz and us. And Gietz was already longer busy with thinking starting in US, but Hans-Jörg can maybe better confirm this, but starting a business in US with Chris Leary. And yeah, we came in contact, and I think the chemistry between Hans-Jörg and me was, let's say, from day one or moment one already very positive. And yeah, we are family owned. My son and daughter are in the family. Chris is already generation, I don't know, 7, I believe, but so it's a family-owned business, and we have the same feeling, and we are both professional. We want to have the best product in the world, and yeah, together with Chris Leary, which I know already a long time because I did also selling in the die cutters and foil stampers, so that's why I know Chris Leary, because of the glue systems on the folder gluers. I think it's the best combination, and I really look forward to work together to offer again what Hans-Jörg also confirmed. The customer decide if he wants to do his production in line with cold foil or offline, or what I see more is offline, in line cold foil, and then the next step hot foil again. So many times you see packaging, high level packaging is a cold foil, because you can do with cold foil all kind of half tones which you cannot do with hot foil. And then later the next step. So I think it's a very good combination for a customer in US, and I think Chris Leary is the person to tell the customer what he needs, or what the customer needs. He can, let's say, translate to the right equipment.
Well, and we will come back in a few minutes to some of the drivers that you're seeing in the market, particularly relating to anti-counterfeiting, general embellishment, etc. But Chris, welcome to the podcast. Obviously, you and I have known each other for quite a long time. We share similar sort of backgrounds, family businessmen. Chris, this is a monumental move, and I'm sure there must have been quite a lot of late night discussions with your father and your family about this. Give me some of the background, Chris, as to why you felt this was a great opportunity for you as an individual, but also for working with Hans-Jörg and Vincent in creating this new business.
Absolutely. And again, to echo Hans-Jörg and Vincent, thank you for this opportunity, Dan. So this was a very challenging decision, one that was made over a year or longer period of time. And we tried to be very deliberate and thoughtful about the opportunity. Many months ago, I shared the idea with my father as more of just a concept to say, hey, this idea is out there. What do you think? And he was very instrumental in helping me kind of think through and walk through the pros and cons, where I'm at personally with my career and hopes for dreams for the future, kind of where the business was at. As referenced earlier, I've known Hans-Jörg and Vincent both for many, many years. So that I think was a good starting point as well. They weren't unknown companies or unknown people necessarily. So we had an existing relationship. And as we talked it out, my father and I specifically, he's still very actively involved in the business. Lots of exciting things going on at Leary. And in parallel to that, this gives me an opportunity in the meantime to grow my professional skills, get exposed to some different industry segments of the industry and other business concepts. And, it's going to be a very exciting challenge for me. So not an easy decision, but one that I think is very exciting, and it presents a lot of future opportunities.
And Chris, obviously very important to sort of mention here that, of course, this is not a situation where you're going to be conflicting at all. In actual fact, it's very complementary, you know, some of the processes that we're dealing with here. I mean, particularly when we start looking downstream on the folder gluer side of things, it could be actually a very beneficial arrangement.
Absolutely, yeah, and that was part of the criteria as well. As Vincent made reference to, by nature of Leary's business, selling glue systems and having to work with folder gluer OEMs, that relationship was always very important from the company's standpoint. So me making a potential move didn't want to jeopardize any of those relationships or things that we've worked very hard over the years to establish. So you're exactly right, Dan. This is a niche segment of the market that doesn't really affect or compete with some of the other relationships or OEMs that Leary had historically worked with.
Okay, Hans-Jörg, I'd like to start looking at some of the drivers that are happening in the folding carton market globally, and then obviously try and apply that to why you guys feel that maybe the traction hasn't been there quite yet for the North American market. Let's talk very specifically about you know, the anti-counterfeiting issues, because obviously we all know that folding carton, you know, it's been a very, very difficult couple of years in terms of you know, counterfeit products, etc., particularly when we look at, you know, cosmetics and we're looking at pharmaceuticals. And obviously there's been a big push from your companies in Europe to help the folding carton converters apply these embellishments that will help the brand owners. So why do you feel your uptake in the North American market has not been as fast as it has been in Europe and Asia?
How long do you have then to answer this question? I could talk now a half an hour, but I try to really focus it on a very few key points. I mean, so one point regarding the anti-counterfeiting is definitely a trend in the market, besides the sustainability issue, which is a very big topic, even probably bigger topic than the anti-counterfeiting. And at the end, for sure, is the next trend is the traction on the point of sales. Everybody wants to achieve, and that is where we help. And with the anti-counterfeiting issue, with hologram application, we are very well known in this area. We are supplying all over the world to the banknote industry. Our same technology we sell to the commercial industry, a little bit adapted for applying holograms on banknotes. You can say many countries, and I could say yes, this we do, this we do, this we do. I cannot, because it's not allowed to talk about those things. But I really feel that in the US we didn't take off. It's basically always a combination of the sales approach plus the technology you supply. And in the US, it's the mindset is different than in Europe. It is like that, and we have to adapt to this. In the US, it's difficult to sell an equipment which is $1 million plus versus an equipment which is half the price or even less, to basically tell them why you need to invest still in this much more expensive equipment, that you can get an ROE actually faster than on the half price machine. So this is what we are working on with Chris, and we have a very good sales tool which customer help to do the decision that they don't save now $1 million but overall save $2 million. So this should be a little bit the approach to the American market. And maybe one word to the sustainability, and this is as well a very important thing for me, that we team up with Vince, because we all supply solutions which are helping the sustainability of the packaging. We both do not transfer PET or a carrier to the board, and in that respect, our products, or basically the folding carton, sold to the customer, are 100% recyclable. And we all need to really teach the clients about this because a lot of people still think, there is the carrier on the packaging and so on and so on. So I really believe that these are the points which we need to bring to the North American market.
And Hans-Jörg, when we start also looking at some of the other sectors of the industry, particularly during the COVID pandemic, where effectively takeaway food has obviously grown in popularity. Obviously, your tray forming solutions ideal there for the food service market as well. So this is something that you're going to be pushing quite hard for the North American market.
Absolutely, and this is at the moment it's a big increase in demand on those tray forming machines. Not only in North America and Europe as well. And in the US, it's mainly the food industry which is driving the takeaway business, which is driving this kind of products. And we are overwhelmed by requests about our technology versus competitors. And we believe that we have a very, very nice solution there. And we are very ready to develop as well special trays together with our clients in order to satisfy the market demand.
Chris, I think when we look at the OEM situation over the last 25 years, maybe 30 years, it's always been very interesting that European companies who come to the North American market with an agent or a small sales office tend not to, or it takes them a long time to penetrate. Do you feel that the creation of a wholly owned American business with an American figurehead, do you feel that that's going to help you accelerate your position in the market?
Without a doubt. Yeah, between that factor, the fact that these are established brands already known, mostly with Gietz, with 100 working machines in the market, again, we're not starting from a standstill position. So hopefully with the relationships that I've built in the marketplace, some of the unique technology offered by both Gietz and Vinfoil, we should have a very interesting message in the market. And with respect to OEMs and the Vinfoil product line specifically, there'll be some similar dynamics to my previous experience in terms of offering glue systems on folder gluers. So we're going to have to work with offset sheet fed press OEMs to offer the Vinfoil system as a new machine, of course, as a retrofit to an existing machine as well. But there's going to be some similarity in those dynamics, and I'm very excited to kind of get started working on those fronts.
And Chris, obviously, the one aspect that people will always want to know, a very straight answer: spare parts, servicing, training. So I understand that you're joined by one of your colleagues, Alex, as the technical director. Tell us a little bit about what customers in the North American market can expect in terms of, availability of spare parts and the training and the maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely, and good question. So to start, we've taken on two other folks have joined Gietz-Vinfoil Americas, as you made mention of Alex Balke. He is our technical director. And then also from a customer service and spare parts standpoint, Jody LeBlanc has joined our team as well. Both Alex and Jody have lots of experience in the industry, and most recently, specifically with the Gietz product line. So we today have inventory of spare parts available for this market. We're going to continue to learn as more machines get placed in the market, what are the most common parts that are going to be needed. But we certainly understand the importance of being service oriented, not only in terms of spare parts, but also in terms of technical, competent, skilled engineers. And that's where Alex comes into play. Certainly, Alex is just one person at this point, and we fully recognize that we're going to need to grow that team over time in the coming months or year. Probably not much longer than that, but I certainly have I believe, a good understanding of the demand that the market has on suppliers and the importance of having spare parts availability and competent technical support. So we start with a small team that has some expertise, and we're going to look to be building that team in the future. I should also mention with the Vinfoil product line, this is a newer product line that we're going to be carrying. So we've already begun months ago some of the training process to get started, and we have a plan to continue to develop more of that commercial and technical product skill set in the coming months. So we definitely are going to be prepared to offer the market the highest level of support that they have come to expect and demand of suppliers.
So Vincent, obviously when you bring any new business to market, and invariably you look at the big trade shows and the opportunities, expos and conferences, well, that just has not happened for the last 18 months or so. And obviously with the news at the end of last year where Drupa was pushing back yet another year, how are you going about explaining to the market exactly what your reasons are for this new project? And also, whether there's new products and new developments that might be on the horizon. So how are you staying in touch with the market?
Of course, we are not a standalone machine. We built a machine, a module, which can be mounted on a printing press. We have 3 levels. We have the micro, which is, let's say, the basic module, which can compete with, let's say, existing models in the market. We have the Optima, which has a high voice saving possibility, there is no competition. And we have the Invico, which is a high level machine, which can change jobs in less than 1 minute, etc., which there is a market, but less big. But we are always mounted on a printing press. So Koenig & Bauer, Heidelberg, Mont Holland, Komori, let's say a quick one. We are exclusive supplier for Koenig & Bauer. Heidelberg has their own module, but we feel now that customers are asking for our module and not, let's say, other modules. So we are really thinking about what is the customer needs the customer, and the customer wants a Vinfoil module, they can put a Heidelberg under it or a Mont Holland or a KBA. So we are in this stage. That means that we are supplying to Koenig & Bauer exclusively, but also supplying to Heidelberg, to Komori. We are discussing. We have customers who are buying now a new Komori, hopefully in the next quick time in US, and adapting our module on the machine. So basically, they are, let's say, our advertising module. Of course, we do direct. That means we have LinkedIn, all kind of, we have a special guy who's doing the marketing. Now together with Gietz, we do marketing. Together with Chris Lee, we do marketing. But basically the press owner of the press manufacturer are our, let's say, advertising channel. Of course, we do development. We do a lot of new developments. I cannot say something about it, but for one of the biggest manufacturer of packaging in the world, we are developing something new. The biggest company in the world who has a plant in Cupertino is knowing us, asking us to develop things. We are, let's say, preferred supplier by them. So we are already, let's say, in the brand owners already well known. But again, it's of course, we have one big advantage. The customer, let's say the brand owner, don't want, and what Hans-Jörg Gietz also said, don't want plastic anymore on the packaging. So metallized board is out, is going out. And we are the only one, not we, but Goldfoil is the only solution for inline getting a glossy effect on the packaging. So we do it already. That helps us a lot. Of course, in the COVID-19, we didn't have any negative influence. Even our last year was better than ever. Because of this, that's our advantage. So if a customer, which is brand owner, wants sustainability, automatically they come to the product Goldfoil. Automatically they come then, let's say, to us, as we have, let's say, about a market share of 70 to 80% of market share of modules in the world. So we're getting more and more well known. But again, our biggest thing is, of course, the press owner, which uses as a module to fit on.
Hans-Jörg, obviously, what Vincent was explaining there, that obviously it fits onto another OEM press. Obviously, your system's slightly more standalone. So how have you found things over the last sort of 12, 14 months? It's been an interesting old market out there.
Very interesting, yes. And it affected definitely like a year ago, you know, we had like several projects ongoing, and then the pandemic started to stop everything. So, but what we found out that especially now after summertime, even before the second wave of the pandemic, the requests were starting again, as well in the hot foil stamping side, and mainly there in the food sector. You know, you talk about Starbucks, Nespresso, and all those things. They have a lot of foil on it, and this is a really an increasing demand in this sector, which is yeah, doing us good at the end of the day, and making us a good living at the moment. And so, but it's difficult to stay in contact, you know, to generate new client leads. That's very difficult. With the existing clients, that's good enough. If somebody told me 1 year ago you will sitting per day in like 3 MS Teams or Zoom calls, I would say, are you crazy? And now I make regular, you know, calls with the good clients and talk about the business, but as well a little bit about private life and stuff like that as it is. So on that side, it's no problem to keep the contact and to discuss about new developments in the market, but it's getting more difficult when it comes down to new clients. And I think there is as well Chris coming into the play, because he has this network in the North American market and can do this personal contact with the right people. So this is how we overcome the pandemic, plus a very nice order for a new banknote in Asia, which is giving us a very good revenue at the moment. So we are all safe. We have kept everybody on board. So perfect, and we're looking forward into the future.
Well, Chris, no pressure there at all, my friend. Gentlemen, thank you so much indeed for spending the time talking to me today. It's been a fascinating insight into your joint collaboration for the North American market. We wish you all the best of luck, and we will be following your progress with great interest. So, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.